Let's meet our 2013 Fayette County Teacher of the Year finalists. First up is Laura Griffiths, a fourth grade teacher at Kedron Elementary. Her classroom is a community of learners and teachers. Every child takes on the role of teacher at some point in time. By doing so, students gain confidence to take risks, help each other, and learn from one another. Not only are her students engaging in learning in the classroom, but they are also developing a desire to be lifelong learners.
I think that all of us know that when we teach somebody something, it becomes a lot more real for us. I think the best way to make children lifelong learners is to make sure that they really enjoy what they're doing. So, as far as reading, I try really hard to find books that really connect with the kids, that connect with what we're studying, that make things exciting, so that they just find that love for reading. And I think confidence is a big thing for kids. If they don't have that confidence in their academic areas, then they're really going to struggle, and that starts now. It starts. There are already kids who will say, well, I'm just not good at math, or, well, I hate reading. And if we can build that confidence now, because if they lose it now, middle school and high school, it's so hard to regain it at that point. So I really think, and I think teaching other kids is maybe most important for the struggling learners, because they feel like they're always the ones who are being taught and always the ones who are being pulled for extra help. And when they do get a chance to shine and to be the expert, I think that really can just turn them around. If you can find that moment, that thing where they can share and they can shine, it really is a wonderful thing for them. The skills that are the most important, I think organization is a huge one. If you're not organized and you don't have things planned, your students they'll take over and they'll organize it and they'll plan it, and it might not be the plans that you want. I feel, first of all, so blessed to be here at Kedron. We have an amazing faculty, and I can't tell you, every day when I walk down the hallway, I'm looking in other teachers' classrooms, and I'm thinking, I need to go talk to them about how they do this, and I need to go talk to them about how they do that. And so when they nominated me as their Teacher of the Year, I was floored, really, because we have an amazing, amazing staff. I go home and I think about those kids just like I think about my kids. You go home and you worry about them just like you worry about yours. And you're thinking, every day when I'm getting ready, what am I going to do? How am I going to make this real for them? And so I know that all of the other teachers in the county are the same way. You live and breathe it. And so I really am honored to be sitting where I am today.
Next is Susan Scaife, an 8th grade Georgia history and gifted English teacher at Flat Rock Middle. She views her students as her children and works in partnership with their parents to help them succeed. Her lessons go beyond social studies and English. She teaches manners, social graces, first aid techniques, and anything else her students need to learn that will help them prepare for their futures.
You can't do this job in a bubble. You can't say to yourself, I'm the person that's responsible for this child's education. It doesn't work that way. It takes a lot more than one person. If you can't take what I've taught you in social studies and apply it to your whole life, then what good is it? And in a Georgia history class, what I tell my children is I'm teaching you to be informed Georgia citizens and to go on to be productive members of society, so that you can get a job, so that you can support your family, that you can have positive adult relationships. So if you display something that I know is bad manners and that someone would find offensive, then I'm not a very good teacher if I don't say to you, oh, you can't say things like that to people. Here's a better way to say that, or think about how that must have made that person feel. Is that what you really meant to say? You need to understand that your content knowledge is only part of what it takes to be a good teacher. Yes, you have to know your content, but you also have to be an expert at crowd control. You've got to keep a certain number of children inside a classroom. You've got to organize your classroom in such a way that they can move around and not interfere with each other's personal space. There's so much to being a teacher that you have to understand that if the only thing that you know about is your content, then that's not enough. You've got to know about relationships, and you've got to know about how to talk to people, and you've got to know about how to maintain records. You've got to let your students see you as the real person that you are, and to think about you as a person and to value you as a person, because they're going to want you to value them as a person. And if you want that give and take between that child and don't want it to be an adversarial relationship, then you have got to come off as the person who they can always come to, they can always depend on. To know that other people think that I do a good job, that is the best feeling in the whole world. It's like when you have a student tell you, I love your class is my favorite class of the day. There's nothing that feels better than that. So having a faculty come together and say, out of all the great teachers in our building, and trust me, there are some great teachers in this building, a lot of great teachers in this building, that we picked you to represent us as our finest for this moment. So it makes you feel good. It's very affirming. It makes you feel validated in your career choice.
Our third finalist is Chastity Manning, an advanced placement world history and regular world history teacher at Fayette County High. She works hard to make her students realize that they can be whatever they want. Nothing is out of their reach. She shares with them her own experiences of overcoming obstacles to reach her dreams. By believing in her students, she gives them the skills necessary for success.
I feel to be a good teacher, you have to care as much about the children as you do your subject. And I think that sometimes gets lost, and just the going through the motions of, okay, I've got to cover this, and oh no, the EOCT's early, and so and I've got to get through this 180-day curriculum, and I'm not going to be here that many days, that kind of stuff. And I think sometimes we get so curriculum focused that we forget we're really here for the kids. I look at world history like I want them to be good global citizens and understand what's going on in the world. So curriculum-wise, I want them to be educated and literate, about the world. I think if you can make a relationship with a student, whether it's, complimenting their shoes or, asking, well, how did the softball game go? Or, that student will perform for you. No matter if you're trying to teach them, advanced calculus, or they will try to learn it to the best of their ability to work for you. And I found that a lot in the remediation classes, that it was about establishing relationships first and then about content. Because once they felt I was in their corner, then they will work, And so I feel that's really what makes a successful teacher. To me, it's about perfecting it for the kids and their experience and really inspiring them to achieve their greatness. Now, I know AP World History or world history in general is not going to make or break their lives. But if I can give them the belief in themselves, then it's worth it. It's worth all the extra classes. It's worth the extra time. I don't know. It's just really been magical because I get so much gratification from my job already. Then to know that I'm appreciated by the faculty and that they recognize the hard work, it's just amazing. And to be honest, I'm probably still in shock that y'all showed up, at my door, because I just think there's so many wonderful teachers out there, and we all do such a great job, and pour our heart and soul into it, It's just amazing to get this opportunity to be able to, represent teachers. It's just such an honor. I mean, it's absolutely amazing.
Our three finalists represent the best educators in the state and nation. The winner will be announced at the Teacher of the Year ceremony on April 25th at New Hope Baptist South Campus, starting at 6 p.m. The event is free and open to the public. Please join us in celebrating our educators. For Channel 24, I'm Melinda Berry-Dreisbach. Thanks for watching.